Good morning. Is the Bat Mitzvah family here or not yet?
Good morning.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Moshe, you know Victoria goes by Vika?
Yes. I have a complete
Morning,
page.
everybody.
Morning, Josh.
Morning, Josh. Morning.
Jake and Katya are the parents.
Here they come now.
Oh, how wonderful.
Is it Jake or Jack?
Morning, Karen. Hello.
Morning.
Welcome. So good to
Hi.
see you.
It is time.
Good
It's
morning.
time. Katya, Boker Tov, the Chazan, and the ritual director are here.
Hi, Vika.
Vika, hi. Hello. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Okay, we turn to page 10 and we rise, please.
Sandy, you're on. Sandy.
She knows.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lech tzefivina, lavchin bein yom uvein laila.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani b'tzalmo.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani Yisrael.
Amen. Baruch
Amen.
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben chorin.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pakeach ivrim.
Amen. Baruch
Amen.
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish harumim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rakah haaretz al hamayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani kol tzorki.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechlin mitzadei gaver.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam mozer Yisrael bigvura.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam anoten layav koach.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir sheina me'enai utnuma me'afapai.
Amen.
Utnenu hayom uv'chol yom u'chenu chesed rachamim be'einecha u'beinei choroenu, v'tigmalenu chasadim tovim. Baruch atah Adonai gomer chasadim tovim li'amo Yisrael.
Amen. We turn to page 50.
Mizmor shir Chanukat habayit leDavid.
עמך אדוני קליטנו ולשמחת ואלי.
Adonai Elohai shivati elecha v'tirpaeni.
אדוני לתמיד שום נפשי חיתני מידי בו.
Amru Adonai chasidav v'hodu l'zecher kadsho.
לגבי הפוחים ברצונו בערב יולין בכי ולבוקר רינה.
Ani amarti v'shalvi balamot li'olam.
אדוני הביא אותך מטה לעוז, הסתרת פניך הייתי נבהל.
Elecha Adonai ekra ve'el Adonai et chanan.
הבצע בדמי בידיתי על שחט את חפה יגיד עמיתך.
Shema Adonai v'chaneni Adonai heye ozer li.
הפכת מספדי למחלי, פיתחת שקי ותעזרני שמחה.
Ma'an yasamercha chava v'lo yidam. Adonai Elohai li'olam modeka.
Yortzeit in Morris Kaddish, page 52. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבם, ועמד יברח ירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבם מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו, לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, ושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירם בעלמה ועמו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו אמן. עושה שלום עממיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו אמן. We rise, page 54, Baruch She'amar.
Baruch She'amar v'haya ha'olam Baruch Hu. Baruch Ha'sev Reshit, Baruch Ha'mer v'yoseh, Baruch Gozerem Kayim, Baruch Merachem al haaretz, Baruch Merachem al habriot, Baruch Meshalem Sachar Tov Lireav, Baruch Chayla Ad V'Kayam Lenetzach, Baruch Podeo Matzio, Baruch Shemo. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu. Yachid Chei Holamim, Melech Meshubach U'Mefaor Adei Ad Shemo HaGadol, Baruch Atah Adonai,
Oshmo.
Melech Mehulal Batishbachot.
Amen. Page 61. You may be seated.
Moshe, if I could interrupt just for a moment. Vika and family, do you have the blue Sim Shalom? I see you sort of, or do you have the maroon? So your page numbers are aligning with ours. Good.
A psalm of praise. Acclaim the Lord, all people on earth.
Worship the Lord in gladness. Come before him with joyous song.
Know that the Lord is God. He fashioned us and we are his people, the flock that he shepherds.
Enter his gates with acclamation, his courts with praise. Acclaim him and praise him.
For the Lord is good, his love is eternal, his faithfulness endures for all generations.
Return to page. Yes, I'm too anxious here a little bit. We turn to page 80, the top of the page. Yechvod Adonai le'olam.
Yehichvod Adonai le'olam yismach Adonai b'ma'asav yishem Adonai.
Go ahead, Sandy. You can do the whole paragraph.
Yehishem Adonai mevorach me'ata v'yad olam mimizrach shemesh ad mevoel mehulal shem Adonai ram makol goyim Adonai al hashamayim kavodo Adonai shimcha le'olam Adonai zichrocha le'dor v'ador Adonai b'shamayim hechin kiso u'malchuto b'kol mashala yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz v'yemru v'goyim Adonai malach Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai melech olam va'ed avdu goyim me'artzo Adonai hefir atzat goyim heini machshavot amim rabot machshavot b'lev ish v'atzat Adonai hi takum atzat Adonai le'olam ta'amod machshavot libo ledor vador ki hu amar vayehi hutziva vaya'amod ki vachar Adonai b'tzion iva l'moshav lo ki Yaakov bachar lo ya Yisrael liskulato ki lo yitosh Adonai amo v'nachalato lo ya'azov v'rachum yechaper avon v'lo yashlit v'hirba lahashiv apo v'lo ya'ir kol chamato Adonai Hoshea Hamelch Yanenu b'yom korenu.
We turn to Ashrei on page 80. Randy Glassman, would you correspond with Sandy, please?
Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha Od Yeholecha Stella.
Ashrei ha'am shachacha lo, ashrei ha'am sh'Adonai Eloha.
Hilo David Aramimcha Ohai Hamelech Bavarcha Shimcha Le'olam Va'ed.
V'chol yom ha'pechecha v'yela shemcha v'yelam po'ed.
Gadol Adonai U'Melo Me'od B'lidu Ato En Cheker.
Olador yishabach ma'asecha v'ratecha yagidu.
Hadar Kavod Hodecha V'divrei Nifletecha Asicha.
V'ezus neratecha yemeru v'ravatecha sepena.
Rav Tuvcha Yabiyu V'tik Hapsa Yiranenu.
Anu v'rachon Adonai el retz afayim kadol chesed.
Tov Adonai L'Kol V'rachamav Al Kol Ma'asav.
Yudech Adonai kol ma'asecha v'chasidecha yivachucha.
Kavod Malchutcha Yameru Ugvuratecha Yedaberu.
V'hodia livnei hadam k'verotav v'vod hadam malchuto.
Malchutcha Malchut Kol Olamim Mememshatecha B'chol Dor Vador.
Zamei Adonai l'chol hanofim v'zokef l'chol ha'kefufim.
Enecha Lecha Yisaberu V'Ata Noten Lahem Et Achlam B'Ito.
Hotea v'tatecha matzviach l'chol charatzon.
Tzadik Adonai B'chol Derachav V'chasi B'chol Ma'asav.
Harov Adonai l'chol karav l'chol asher yikaru v'yemet.
Ritzon Yireyav Yaseh V'yet Shavatam Yishma V'Yoshiem.
Shemer Adonai et kol havav et kol yeshim yashmid.
Gilat Adonai Yedaber Pi, Vivorech Kabasar Shem Kachel Elam Vaed.
Anachnu nevarech ya me'ata v'yad olam hallelujah.
Anachnu Nevarech Ya, Me'ata V'yad Olam Hallelujah.
We turn to page 94 and we rise, please. Ishtabach Shimcha.
Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu, Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VaKadosh B'Shamayim U'Ba'aretz. Ki L'chonai Adonai Eloheinu V'Levatenu Shishach. Rachavod Me'ata V'yad Olam, Baruch Atah Adonai, El Melech Gadol Batishbachot, El HaHodot Adon HaNiflaot, HaBocher B'Shirei Zimra, Melech Elchei HaOlamim.
Amen.
Yikadal v'yikadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Amadi brach l'retevi amlich machlotei b'chayechan v'yamechan v'chayedach l'beit Yisrael b'galav yisman kariv v'yimru Amen.
Amen. Yesh merabah mevorach leolam olmei olmaya.
May Rabbah mevorach le'olam v'olmei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitramam v'yidnasei. Yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudisha b'richu. Le'olam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tishbachata v'nechamata. Damiram v'yama v'yimru Amen.
Amen.
Adonai hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach leolam vaed.
Baruch Adonai hamavorach le'olam vaed.
You may be seated. We turn to page 96. Baruch Atah Adonai.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvarei chadashech aseh shalom uvarei et hakol. Amir la'aretz l'adarim alecha barachamim.
אלוה גדול לאחר זוהי חמת וצר כבוד לשמה ונצר וזו ויעזר הקדושים ושדעת שם מסעדה דבר חסר דבר צוען מלכנו גאלנו והקדושים השתבח שמך לעד מלכנו צמשתים כולם אוהבים כולם בורים וכולם פותחים
וכולם פותחים את פיהם בקדושה וטהרה, בשירה וזמרה, ומברכים שבחים פורים מעריצים, ומקדישים וממליכים.
את שם האל המלך הגדול הגדול הקדוש הוא page 98 at the top.
להקדיש ליצרם בנחת רוח, בשפה ברורה ונימה קדושה, כולם כאחד עונים ואומרים ביראה.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלך כל הארץ כבודו.
אופנים וחיות הקודש ברעש גדול מתנסים לעומת שרפים, לעומתם משבחים ואומרים.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו.
אל ברוך נימות יתנו, למלך החי ופן זמנים.
כבוד הכהן גבורות, עושה חדשות, במלחמות, זרועי צבאות, מניעות זרועי כבוד. In the middle of page 98.
אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות.
Amen. Sandy, would you chant Ahava Rabbah, please?
Ava Rabba Avtanu Adonai Eloheinu Chem Lagadol Avitera Chamalta Aleinu Avinu Malkeinu Bavur Avotenu Shebat Chuvecha Avinu Malkeinu Batalamdem Chukei Chaim Kain Techanenu et Lamdenu Avinu Hav Harachaman Hamrachem Rachem Aleinu Betem Belibenu Lahavinu Haskil Lishmoa Lilmod Ulelamed Lishmor Velasot Ukayem et Kol Divrei Talmud Toratecha Be'ava V'ha'erinenu b'toratecha v'dabek libenu b'mitzvotecha v'yached levavenu li'ahava u'yira et shemecha v'lo nevosh le'olam va'ed v'lo nevosh לעולם ועד, כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו, נגילה ונשמחה בשורתך, והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ, ותוליכנו קוממיות לארצנו, כי אל פועל ישועת אתה, ובנו בחרת מכל עם ולשון, וקרבתנו לשמך הגדול, סלה באמת להודות לך, ולייחדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בעמו ישראל בשלום. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושמתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
In the middle of page 100.
למען ירבו בניכם על האדמה אשר נשבע אדוני לאבותיכם לתת להם, כי מהשמיים ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת להם, יעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תתורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם.
In the middle of page 102.
אמת ויציב ונחם וקיים וישר ונאמן ואהוב וחביב ונחמד ונעים ונורא ואדיר ומתוקן ומקובל, וטוב ויפה הדבר הזה עלינו לעולם ועד. אמת אלוהי עולם מלכנו צור יעקב מגן אישנו, לדור ודור הוא קיים ושמו קיים, וכליסו נכון ומלכותו באמונתו לעד קיימת, לדבריו חיים וקיימים נאמנים ונחמדים על עולמי עולמים, על אבותינו ועל בנינו ועל דורותינו ועל אמת שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, מלכנו מלך אבותינו, גואלנו גואל אבותינו, יצרנו צור ישועתנו, ביתנו מצילנו מעולם שמך, אין אלוהים זולתך. בעזרת אבותינו אתה הוא מעולם, מגן ושם. Tilot le'el hayom baruch hu v'rach. Moshe v'nei Yisrael chanu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam.
מי כמוך באים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נוע תהילות תוסיף אלה.
Shira chadasha shipchu gulim l'shimcha safat hayam. Yachad kulam haduvim lichu v'yamru.
אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
O Yisrael, Kuma Yisrat Yisrael, if Dechlinu Mecha Yehuda Yisrael, Golen Adonai Tzvot, Shemo Kadosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Amen. We begin on the inside back cover, back to page 106, through the Kedusha in unison and concluding silently.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Abateinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Vanera, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot, V'Mevi Goel Livnei V'Nehem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melchazer Faked Moshiach Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Faked Sarah,
Amen.
Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Machayim Metim Atarav Lehoshia, Mashiv Haruach Marid Hagashem, B'chakel Chaim B'chesed, B'chayim Metim Barachamim Rabim, Somech Nechlim B'rafei Chalim U'matir Asirim, M'kayim Emunat Elishenei Afar, Michamach Ba'al Gevurot, U'mid Melach, Melch Memit Chayei U'matzmiach Yeshua, V'neman Atol Achayot Metim, Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayei HaMetim.
Page 108. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמרתי שמותו בשמי מרום, וכתוב על יד נביאך וכרז אל זה ויאמר.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמעתי שמותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא אל זה ויאמר.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלך כל הארץ, כבודו ומתן ברוך יאמרו.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvot, Melech Haaretz Kevodo, L'matam Baruch Meru.
ארוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, דברי קודשך כתוב לאמור.
Baruch Kavod Adonai Min Kamo, V'divrei Kodshecha Katuv Lemor.
ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה.
Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Elohai Tzion, L'dor Vador, Hallelujah. L'dor Vador Nagid Gadlecha, U'netzach Netzachim Kedushatcha Nagdish, V'shivchacha Heinu Mipinu L'yamush Le'olam Ba'ed, Ki Melech Gadol V'Kadosh Ata, Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen. We conclude silently from pages 110 to 120.
Okay, so if you're still davening, please continue through to completion. As a congregation, we'll turn back to page 114 for the partial repetition. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcho Yisrael levi tfilatam v'ashev et havodah lidvir beitecha v'ishei utihi ratzon imrei utihi ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha Chazen Einenu b'shivcha l'tzion barachamim baruch atah Adonai hamachzir shechinato l'tzion.
אמן, מודים אנחנו לך.
Tov kilo chalu rachamecha v'ramachem kilo tamuz chasadecha me'elam kivinu lach v'al kulam yitbarach v'yitramam shimcha malkeinu tamid le'elam va'ed v'chol ha'chaim yeducha sela v'alu et shimcha be'emet hayo yeshuatenu rezratenu sela baruch atah Adonai hatov chona elehoda.
Amen. Top of 120.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu barchenu b'bracha hamshuleshet b'torah haktuva al yedei Moshe avdecha amura mipi Aaron uvanav kohanim am kadoshecha ka'amor yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha
Ein yehi ratzon.
ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka
Ein yehi ratzon.
yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Ein yehi ratzon.
Sim shalom ba'olam teva vrachachem v'chesed rachamim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael amecha barchenu avinu kulanu ki'echad bior panecha kivior panecha natat lanu Adonai Eloheinu terat chayim v'ahavat chesed utzedakah v'racha v'rachamim v'chayim v'shalom v'tov beinecha u'varech amcha Yisrael b'chol eit uv'chol shah b'shlemecha baruch atah Adonai
Ahava shemo.
baruch Adonai Yisrael b'shalom.
Amen. We rise, we turn to page 136, Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikadav yikadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Yama divrachi rutevi amlich malchutei b'chayechon of yamechon of chayedach al Beit Yisrael b'galav izman kariv v'imru amen.
Amen. Yishmir abam v'orach le'olam alon me'al maya.
Yitbarach v'yishabach v'yitbar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudasha barichu.
Echu.
Elam ninkol berchata v'shirata tishbachata v'nechamata damiram b'alma v'imru amen.
Amen. We continue with Seder Hotza'at Torah, where we read from the Torah scroll and give our bat mitzvah lady her first aliyah. Wonderful. We're on page 138, Kimitzion.
Wait, and before you continue, Jack, you have this book, right? You all have this book, right? So that's a different Sim Shalom. So you've been
Right.
we've been calling the wrong pages for you the whole time. So what page is the Torah service on?
We've been trying to find them. So
Does anybody know what page the weekday Torah service is on in here? I don't know if it has weekday.
I don't know that there is a weekday Torah
No,
service on there.
There is
We covered the other one. It's fine.
Shabbat Torah service is 139.
got it. Thank you.
We're doing part of what you'll see on 139.
All right.
Where am I starting?
Kimitzion.
Ki mitzion teitze Torah, ki mitzion teitze Torah, udavar Adonai mirushalayim, baruch shenatan Torah Torah, baruch shenatan Torah Torah, li'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato. Adlu Adonai iti unaroma mashemo yachdav.
Lecha Adonai.
הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד כי כה בשמיים ובארץ לך אדוני הממלכה והמנשא לכל הראש.
Amen.
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 Adonai Eloheinu, v'hishtachvu lehadam ragav kadoshu, romamu, romamu, Adonai Eloheinu, v'hishtachvu
כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו, ואתם מדליקים עלינו עליכם חיים כולכם היום. You may be seated, and we are now honored to have the bat mitzvah. Vika, is that right? Would you pronounce it for me, please? You have to unmute. There you go.
Vika.
Vika, beautiful, beautiful. It's really an honor to have you with us this morning, Vika. It's a thing about parents and grandparents, you know, they get very verklempt and incredibly joyous. And I'll tell you what they told me, you know, wait till your child stands where you are now, and then they'll say, that makes a lot of sense, all this hard work. So keep that beautiful smile on your face, and to mom and dad, from all of our hearts, mazel tov, mazel tov, mazel tov.
Thank you.
And one last note, Vika, hi. The reason we do this, Vika, so that it will stay in your memory and it will be a forever moment. Do you remember what you did on your 10th birthday on Thursday?
No.
No idea. Right. That's how it goes. You know, I'm already an old man, and where did it go? I don't know. So we are trying to find ways to make a moment eternal. And after today, you will always know where you were Thursday morning before your bat mitzvah with Chizuk Amuno. And this is a wonderful thing. So, are you ready to make the brachot for the Torah?
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, would you please? First, let me call you up. Wait a minute. תעמוד הבחורה בת מצווה, יהודית הדסה, בת יעקב משה וחנה נתניה, ראשון.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarad.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim, V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
אמן. ויאמר אדוני אל משה בוא אל פרעה, כי אני הכבדתי את ליבו ואת לב עבדיו למען שיתי אותותי אלה בקרבו. ולמען תספר באוזני בנך ובן בנך את אשר התעללתי במצרים ואת אותותי אשר שמתי בם, וידעתם כי אני אדוני. ויבוא משה ואהרון אל פרעה, ויאמרו אליו, כה אמר אדוני אלוהי העברים, עד מתי מאנת לענות מפני? שלח עמי ויעבדוני. Okay, Vika, it's your turn to do the second blessing. Baruch atah
After this.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah tameh v'chayei olam natan b'tohenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vika? Hi, Vika. That was beautiful. You did the blessing so beautifully. I want you to take a second and look at mom and dad's faces. And remember that these are the happiest people in the room. And it is you who gave them this joy. It takes a lifetime to get here. And so we wish you years of joy and happiness and strength and finding great pleasure in our great Jewish tradition. And now I will make a special bracha, mishaberach, to someone who came up to the Aliyah. So we need you to smile big, Vika, please. Thank you, right? משבח אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה רחל ולאה ויברך את הבחורה בת מצווה את יהודית הדסה בת יעקב משה וחנה נתניה שעלתה היום לכבוד המקום ולכבוד התורה ולכבוד הציבור הקדוש ברוך הוא יברך אותה ואת כל משפחתה וישלח ברכה והצלחה בכל מעשה ידיה עם כל ישראל אחיה ונאמר Amen. And so we
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, Mazel tov. Vika, thank you. It was a beautiful morning for us to have you come and join us as an adult.
And I wish I was wearing what Vika is wearing. That looks so soft and comfy.
Yes, I bet. That was wonderful. Okay, Vika, what you're going to see next, you're going to see people who came here, one for their yahrzeit, people in their lives who's the year of their passing, and that we remember them with great emotion and feeling and faith, and other people who come together to be together, because being together is what we're about. We couldn't be who we are without being together. And so we wish Mom and Dad a special Mazel Tov, and I know we'll hear from you on Shabbat. And thank you, Yishar Kochachem. We're going to ask Sandy Bieber, who has yahrzeit for her father today, to read the second Aliyah, chapter 10, verse 4.
And mysteries, if you want to be seated, and anyone else, you may be.
Yes.
If you want to keep standing, by all means, please do.
Bevakasha, Mazal Tov.
כי אם אתה לשלח את עמי, הנני מביא מחר הרבה בגבולך, וכיסה את עין הארץ, ולא יוכל לראות את הארץ, ויאכל את יתר הפליטה. הנשארת לכם מן הברד, ואכל את כל העץ, הצמח לכם מן השדה. ומלאו בתיך ובתי כל עבדיך, ובתי כל מצרים, אשר לא ראו אבותיך ואבות אבותיך, מיום היותם על האדמה עד היום הזה, ויפן ויצא מעם פרעה.
Beautiful. Vika, just to keep you in the loop, Sandy has yahrzeit for her father, which is why she led services. Usually Arnie leads services, and he was kind enough to make the change, and that's also another reason that we read Torah this morning. And Sandy, would you tell us one thing you learned from Abba Zichrono Livracha?
This is fairly trivial, but it served me very well through my life. One day I mispronounced somebody's name, and he said, "Sandy, you have committed a grave error. A person's name is the most beautiful sound in the world. And when you get that wrong, you're off to a bad start." And I mean, I've really paid attention to people's names, and it really does serve well. So
Beautiful, beautiful words, Sandy. Thank you. We really appreciate it. And that's why we asked you, Vika. Was that right? Can I do okay with that, Vika? Okay, well. Sandy, and living memory and consecration of those who give you life and still are with us. We consecrate the memory of Morris Bieber. El male rachamim, shochen b'amronim, hamtzei menucha nechona, tachat kanfei hashchina, במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים, את נשמת מוישה בן פלק ושרה לאה, שהלך לעולמו, בגן עדן תהי מנוחתו. אנא ברחמים, הסתירהו בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצור לצרור החיים את נשמתו. אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוח בשלום על משכבו, ונאמר Amen. Thank you, Sandy, for your reading and davening and all the wonderful things. The third Aliyah will be read by Ruth Ann Kaufman. It's on chapter 10 in Exodus, verse 7.
Vayamru avdei Pharaoh elav ad matai yezelanu lemokesh shalach et ha'anashim v'ya'avdu et Adonai Eloheihem haterem teda ki avda Mitzrayim. Vayushav et Moshe v'et Aaron el Paro vayamer aleihem lehu ivdu et Adonai Elohechem mivami hahochim. Vayamer Moshe binarenu uvizkenenu nelech uvanenu ut Uviv notenu betzonenu, uviv karenu nelech, kichag Adonai lanu, vayomer aleihem, yehichen Adonai imachem, ka'asher ashalach etchem, v'et tapechem, re'u kira'ah neged penechem, Lochem, Lechuna Hagabarim, Ve'ivdu et Adonai, Ki Ota Atehem Mevakshim, Vayagashotam, Me'et Pnei Pharaoh.
That was beautiful, Ruth Ann. It was just wonderfully read. I wanted to share with the Dominion and Vika especially, when I came to Chizuk Amuno about 30 years ago, there was a man who came to Minyan every day, and his name was Dr. Ralph Dolgoff. He's a world scholar in social work, and he was head of the department and so forth. And Dominion is a small place, and he really took care that I followed, and he held my hand, basically. But today is his yahrzeit, and just so that you know, Vika, we are very fortunate and blessed when we have wonderful people next to us to hold our hand and to lead us. Life can be full of challenges, and everyone will admit that. And all of us who remember Dr. Ralph Dolgoff remember him with great love and great admiration. He's really exceptional. And today, I'm going to make a memorial prayer for him as my teacher and someone who is very close to me, his presence is felt to this very moment. המלא רחמים, שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה במעלות, קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הקיא מזהירים, את נשמת מורי ורבי ישראל לייב מרדכי וטובה, שהלך לעולמו בגן עדן תהי מנוחתו. אנא ברחמים, הסתירהו בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצור בצרור החיים את נשמתו, אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוח בשלום המשכבו, ונאמר Amen. We also remember the Yortzeit of Irving Saul, who David is here, his son, and we commemorate and sanctify his memory. המלא רחמים שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הקיא מזהירים את נשמת אורי בן אברהם ונילי, שהלך לעולמו בגן עדן תהי מנוחתו. אנא ברחמים, הסתירהו בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצור בצרור החיים את נשמתו, אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוח בשלום המשכבו, ונאמר Amen. And we also remember and recall and consecrate the memory of Renee Morgenstern, Rina Bat Yaakov Umalka. המלא רחמים שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה במעלות, קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הקיא מזהירים את נשמת רינה בת יעקב ומלכה, שהלכה לעולמה בגן עדן תהי מנוחתה. אנא ברחמים, הסתירהו בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצור בצרור החיים את נשמתו, אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוח בשלום המשכבו, ונאמר Amen. We also recall the memory of Meir Vagdani, זיכרונו לברכה. המלא רחמים שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הקיא מזהירים את נשמת מאיר בן נפתלי ולאה, שהלך לעולמו בגן עדן תהי מנוחתו. אנא ברחמים, הסתירהו בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתו, אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוח בשלום המשכבו, ונאמר Amen. Jeffrey, did I miss any Yortzeiten today? No? Okay. So Vika, you see, we do both these things. We just beautifully celebrate and rejoice in your becoming an adult in the Jewish community. And we remember those who gave us life and are with us to this very moment. So again, Mazel Tov to you and to all who brought you to this point with hard work. We continue with Chatzi Kaddish. Sandy Bieber, if you would please. We rise. Chatzi Kaddish is on page 146 at the top.
Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabah.
Amen.
Yom dibrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayachon v'yamechon v'chayedecho bet Yisrael v'galav yizman kariv v'imru Amen.
Amen. Yishmer Abam Borach Leolam U'Me'amaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudusha barichu min kol berachata v'shirata tishbachata v'nechamata lamizrach v'yama v'imru Amen.
Amen. We turn to page 150, third line from the bottom, Eitz Chaim Hi.
Eitz Chaim Hi lama chazikim ba v'tomcheha meushar diracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Kadesh, Kadesh Amenu, Kadesh Amenu, Kekedem.
Shakochech. Thank you, Sandy. We sit down, and being it's Thursday, we're going to see Lynn Tucker, who is here with us.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you when you're
Okay.
closer to the microphone.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think Jane's going to do Ashrei with me. Jane, are you there?
And we turn to page 152, Ashrei responsibly.
Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Ujahadalucha Selah.
Ashrei ha'am shekachalo, Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Elochav.
Tehillah LeDavid, Aramincha Elahai HaMelech, V'avracha Shimcha Leolam Va'ed.
B'chol yom avarcheka, v'halela shimcha le'olam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai Umhulo Ma'od, V'ligdulato Ein Cheker.
Dur ledur yishabach ma'asecha, gvuratecha yagidu.
Hadar Kavod Hodecha, V'direi Niflotecha Asicha.
Ve'ezuz nortecha yomeru, ugdulatcha asaprena.
Zecher Rav Tucha Yabihu, V'tzikatecha Yiranenu.
Anun v'rachum Adonai erech apayim ugdol chased.
Tov Adonai Lakol, V'rachamav Kol Ma'asav.
Yoducha Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yivarchucha.
Kevod Malchutecha Yomeru, Ugvuratecha Yedaberu.
Lehodia libnei ha'adam gvuratav, ukvod chador malchuto.
Malchutecha Malchut Ka'olamim, Umemshaltecha B'chol Dor V'Ador.
Somech Adonai l'chol chanoflim, v'zokef l'chol chakufufim.
Einei Chol Elecha Yisaberu, V'yata Noten Lohem Et Achlam Be'ito.
Oteach et yadecha, umasbiach l'chol chai ratzon.
Tzadik Adonai B'chol Derachav, V'chasiv B'chol Ma'asav.
Karov Adonai l'chol korav, l'chol asher ikra'uhu ve'emet.
Ritzon Yirei V'yaseh, V'yet Shavatam Yishma V'yoshiem.
Shomer Adonai et kol oharav, ve'et kol harshayim yashmid.
Tehillat Adonai Yedaber Pi, V'varech Kol Basar Shem Kadsho Le'olam Va'ed.
Va'anachnu nevarech ya, me'ata v'yad olam, hallelujah.
V'anachnu nevarech ya, me'ata v'yad olam, hallelujah. Page 158, Kaddish Shalem.
And page 82.
Thank you. Yitgada v'yitgada Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon u'b'chayetecho beit Yisrael v'agala v'isman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam le'omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitvar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh V'yatadar v'yatala v'yatalal shemei dekudesha.
Echo.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata dami run b'yoma v'yimaru.
Amen.
Hikabal telotahonu v'atahon d'chol Yisrael kadam avahon divi shemaya v'yimaru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim oleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimaru.
Amen.
Amen. Oseh shalom b'momav. Ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
We rise, Elena.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol. L'tekedu l'yotzer b'reishit. Shalom asanu kegoye haratzot. V'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama. Shalom samchelkeinu kahem. V'goraleinu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim. Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ki hamalchut shofahi u'omei atin lov b'chavod. Kakatuv b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz. Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo echad.
You may be seated. We recall with love those who gave us life and shared life with us and continue to be in our presence as a guiding spirit to accompany us throughout our life, whose yahrzeit is the 8th of Shvat, Thursday, January 21st, 2021. The following names are inscribed in our hearts in our memorial memorial at Chizuk Amuno Congregation. Samuel Edelman, Louis Blatt, Emily Clark, Ralph Dolgoff, Joachim Ehrlich, Carol Harmon, Carolyn Kine, Frank Kaufman, Lena Kramer, Bernard Cuff, Vivian Raskin, Ellen Rothenberg, Rose Round, Louis Suskin, and we recall Irving Saul and Morris Bieber of blessed memory. Sandy, would you please recite the Mourner's Kaddish on page 162?
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yoma divrach liratei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedechol Beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru Amen.
Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam omeil maya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'rich
Leichu.
Ve'la min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechamata da'amiram b'yama v'imru Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen.
Amen.
We continue on page 31, responsibly the psalm for Thursday. Sandy, will you read with me?
Yes, give me 1 second.
Sure.
Yes.
On the 5th day of the week, the Levites would recite this psalm in the temple. Sing with joy to God, our strength. Shout with gladness to the God of Jacob.
Strike up a melody. Sound the timbrel. Play sweet tones on harp and lyre.
Sound the shofar on the new moon, on the full moon for our festive day.
It is the law for the people Israel. The God of Jacob sits in judgment.
He ordained it as a decree for Joseph when he rose against the land of Egypt.
Then I heard a voice I never knew. I removed the burden from your shoulder. Your hands were freed from the load.
When you called in distress, I rescued you. Unseen, I answered you in thunder. I tested your faith in the wilderness.
Hear this warning, my people, Israel, if you would only listen.
You shall have no strange God among you. You shall not worship an alien God.
I am your God who brought you up out of Egypt. Open your mouth wide and I will fill it.
But my people did not listen. Israel would have none of me.
So I gave them over to their stubbornness. I let them follow their own devices.
If only my people would listen to me, if the people Israel would walk in my ways.
Then would I soon subdue their foes and strike out at their oppressors.
Enemies of the Lord shall be humbled. Their doom shall be eternal.
But you would I feed with richest wheat, with honey from the rock would I satisfy you.
Misane Adonai Yachachashulo, Vayahi Itam Leolam, V'yachilehu Mechelev Chito, Umitzur Devash Asbieka.
Beautiful. David, Saul, would you please recite the Mourner's Kaddish on page 52?
Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
V'yamad divra kirute v'yamlik makute. V'chaychon v'chemechon v'chaye dekol beit Yisrael. V'galad izman kari v'maru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehesh rabba mirach yoram u'maya. Yit barak v'yish tabat v'yit patar v'yit raman v'yit naseh v'yit hadar. V'yit alel v'yit halal shemei kedusha b'rechu. V'la min kol birchata v'shirata tushbe'ata v'ne'emata d'miran v'yalma v'maru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehesh shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim alenu v'yikol Yisrael v'maru. Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'momav hu yaseh shalom alenu v'yikol Yisrael v'maru. Amen.
Amen. Amen. David, I miss you.
Thank you, Moshe.
Of course, it's only true. I have a question for Jack. Would you, just personally curious, I lived in Israel for 8 years, and the name Misri, is your family originally from Egypt?
Yes. Well, originally, and then my grandfather lived in Syria and then came to the US in about 1910.
Wow, I'm sure it's quite such an adventure. Do you know when your father left Egypt? And did they live in Alexandria or Cairo?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Vika, it's your job to bug your dad till he finds out, because it's an incredible story. Were you born in America, Jack?
Yes, I was. I know as far as my grandfather. He came to New York in 1910
Wow.
and lived in the ghettos there and sold gum on the Brooklyn Bridge. He was 10 years old.
Wow. Yeah, that, you know, our stories are very similar, and they dedicated themselves to their children and grandchildren. And do you have a particular memory of your grandfather?
I do have a number of memories of my grandfather, actually.
Would you share one if you would?
Sure. So he was always looking out for his family, and there was one time when he came into our house and he saw that we all had, we had 3 bathrooms and 4 bedrooms for 5 of us. And he said, "Wow, you live like kings." I had 6 brothers and sisters, and we all shared a bathroom and 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's wonderful. Vika, these are stories you should really know. They are really would open your world incredibly. That's wonderful. Well, thank you, Jack, and thank you, Vika, and thank you, Mom, for being here today. I wish you mazel tov.
Mysteries, I'll see you this afternoon.
Yeah, and we do this 7 days a week, so y'all come back. We'd love to have you.
Well, thank you so much, everyone.
You're
Mazel
welcome.
tov. Mazel tov.
Mazel
Looking
tov.
forward to Saturday. See you Saturday.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Shabbos.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Mazel tov.
Let's round going, guys. Okay.
Thank you, Moshe.
Thank
See
you.
you soon. Mazal tov.
Mazal tov.
Thank you, Moshe.
Lisa, can you join us for breakfast, do you think?
Actually, I have something I have to do.
All right, so before you go, did
Uh-huh.
you share with us a memory of your mom?
Well, I could tell you that my mom was a very loving and caring mom. She worked hard. What can I remember? I can
always
remember
wanna
her
ask
selling, I can remember her representing the PTA and selling ice cones outside our school and coming in and selling stamps at the savings bond stamps
Right.
to the classrooms as an elementary school. And she was also, she was like an assistant brownie leader.
Okay.
She was very
Committed.
She was very active in our lives and very family was very important to her.
Clearly. Thank you, Lisa. Beautiful words.
Sure. Thank
David,
you.
Thank you. David, a memory of your father, please.
I was thinking about this after you asked Sandy about her her loss, and my dad would always say to me, about making decisions. Make a decision and stand by it, whether it's the right decision or the wrong decision. Just do something, and either learn from your mistake or go with it if you've done something right. So that has sort of gone through my whole life, and that he was always for, just don't sit in the fence and do nothing. Do something. And as I say, either correct what you've done is wrong, or learn from you learn from your mistake, or go on and you've made the right decision. So it's really got me through my life there, to always be able to just do something in your life.
I love that, David. And so we expect to see you more often at the Minyan, right?
Yes.
That's definitely a right decision. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Moshe.
Thank you. Be well. Thank you all. We are going to virtual breakfast, a special Hari Yashkoyach to